I'm audible. I'm audible.
Yes, yes, sir. You are clearly
Okay.
audible.
There was some notification in between, so I thought ki some issue. So, first of all, thank you for this opportunity to interact with all the young participants in this present in this webinar. And topic for this particular webinar is careers in finance. I really enjoy talking on this careers in finance with all young people sitting here. And typically, when I have to talk, so I follow a particular pattern. Initial 10 to 12 minutes, I can speak from my side. What are the different careers option available? And then remaining time, I will prefer if you have any questions from your side, if we can have more kind of a interactive session instead of simply a one way. It should not be kind of a classroom session. So with this, I will start with this careers in finance. And see, when I'm saying careers in finance, typically my focus is as a fresher, when you enter a corporate, so what kind of career options are available and what kind of roles you can target, right? So I will talk about three different sectors. So first is as a I will say, see, entry point, I'm assuming कि after completing your post-graduation MBA with a specialization in finance, that is a typically entry point for any career in the finance area. Prajakta, definitely your questions, I will answer each and every question. Just allow me just 10 to 12 minutes to speak, and surely we will handle each and every question for sure. Please understand which are the different type of sectors where you can find NBF finance. They have plenty of opportunity. First is banking. Second is insurance sector. Third is financial services. Now, financial services in itself is a very broad sector, which where we can talk about NBFC, we can talk about asset management company, we can talk about credit rating agency. So it's a very, very broad universe when it comes to financial services. So popularly, this is known as BFSI, banking, financial services, and insurance. And another area I will say where another sector I will say is corporates apart from BFSI. Now these corporates may be manufacturing concern. They have finance department and they have plenty of opportunity for finance graduates. And the third I will say is consulting. And in consulting, I will put two. One is IT consulting, and second is consultancy firms, management consulting firms like Big Four. These are some of the firms which recruit. Again, they have openings for both fresher as well as experienced person in finance. Now, I will start first with banking. Please understand in banking, mainly there are four departments. First one is wholesale banking. So when I say wholesale banking, some banks may call it corporate banking, some may call it wholesale banking. This is one. Second department I will say is retail banking. See, these are four prominent departments. Retail banking. Third, I will say your treasury operations, treasury function. And the fourth one you will see foreign operations. So largely you take any bank, in particularly if I talk about Indian banks, so these are the four areas. Now, when it comes to corporate banking, what kind of role you can expect in bank as a fresh finance graduate? They call it credit rating or they say underwriting. Now, this is one of the most, I will say, interesting profile. In simple words, if you are joining a bank and you are put in corporate banking and you are in a credit team, so what will be your job? Let's say I am applying. Now, when I'm saying I am applying, I am representing one organization and I am looking for some loan, maybe working capital loan, or it may be a long-term loan. Now, I have to put my application to bank. I will provide all my financial details, balance sheet, income statement, cash flow statement for last 4 or 5 years. Now, what you will do if you are working in corporate banking, credit analysis, you will analyze those financial statements and you will try to get credit profile of the applicant and you will make a recommendation to your senior authority. Yes, is it a good application to sanction loan or not? So this is one department I will say within banking. I will say a high profile is high when it comes to salary. Even at entry level, you can expect a higher salary when it comes to credit analyst position. Even in banking, some call it credit analyst, some call it is part of underwriting. Uh, when it comes to I will say treasury operations. Now, treasury operation is one wherein you have to be like really good with investing. Now, what is treasury operation? You have excess cash. Now, please understand, cash is the only dead asset. If you are not investing cash, it is not generating any income for you. So in banks, it's a practice that if you have excess cash, you will make all your forecast. And if you have a cash on any given working day, and if you don't need that money for next 3 hours, you will not keep it idle. You will invest somewhere. And now treasury operations, see, I'm 3 hours, talking about an extreme situation, but trust me, even for this small period of time, just imagine the quantum with which you are playing. You will invest that money. Morning you will invest, and by evening you would like to liquidate, and you have to generate profit. Now this whole thing comes under treasury department. Now this maturity may vary from 1 hour to 1 year, whatever, but it falls under managing this idle cash. Is a major task of treasury department. When it comes to retail banking, again, I will say for a MBA fresher, not a high paying job. I will say, and typically we at GIM, and when I talk about this program, which we started 4 years back, BIFS. So in fact, we are not targeting such type of profiles, but in when it comes to retail banking, you're targeting retail customer. There is this entry level position, they call it a relationship manager, which is basically a sales job. You have to sales various kind of banking products to retail customers. So this is one option available. So broadly, when it comes to banking, you will find if you are able to get into treasury operations, or you are able to get into underwriting or credit rating, this is one area wherein it is really demanding in terms of skill set, knowledge set. But of course, at the end of the day, highest paying jobs in the banking sector. When it comes to insurance, again, one of the highest paying job within insurance is when it comes to designing various insurance products, right? Now, for designing insurance product, you need a separate, kind of a different skill set, and they have a separate department. The department is known as actuarial department. Now, actuarial department is the one which design various insurance products, how to price it. When I'm saying how to price it, basically that is insurance premium. Now, again, you have to be extremely, extremely good with your mathematical skills and programming skills if you are targeting actuarial position. See, earlier there was a trend that there is an Institute of Actuaries, and if you have cleared some papers of Institute of Actuaries, then only you can get a job in an actuarial department in an insurance company. But with time, with so many insurance companies coming in, things are changing. Now, even they are visiting management schools, and they are recruiting people for actuarial department. Again, one of the highest paying job in the insurance sector for a fresh MBA finance. I will repeat, you have to be extremely good with your quantitative skills and your programming skills. When it comes to, I will say corporate, basically a manufacturing concern. Now, manufacturing concern, they have corporate finance department, and as part of the corporate finance department, they have their own treasury department. Now, again, in corporate finance, basically you have to arrange for the funds. Basically, now how you are arranging that fund? You are taking a loan. What kind of loan from which bank? Now, this is a typical profile, managing working capital requirement on a day-to-day basis. Now, one of the most important part here is that you have to have your network. Network in the sense, I'm not talking about personal network. I'm talking about professional network. You have to have network with various banks, right? And then it all boils down on negotiation, which is the bank within your network which is able to give you cheapest loan. So here, this whole thing is that you have to negotiate when it comes to interest rate, right? So again, as an MBA fresher, if you're targeting a corporate, a manufacturing sector, there your main day-to-day job will be, if you're into a corporate finance department, day-to-day job will be to arrange funds, arrange cash. Same in the same way, within corporate finance department, there is this treasury operation, and it is similar to bank's treasury operation. Like you have to invest money, whatever is excess cash available for the day or for a week, for a quarter, you have to invest and you have to generate returns. So this is a typical for I will say treasury operation. One of the most important field today, and I think as a finance fresher, you can think is to get into management consulting. And so when it comes to management consulting, all the big four, I hope most of you may be aware about these big four, PwC, EY, KPMG, Deloitte. And then if I extend up to big six, so I will of course include GT and BDO in the list. So now, if you are able to crack interview and if you are able to get into big six, I will say a decent starting of your career. Please understand, see what kind of roles are there in big six for you as a finance graduate. See, in MBA schools, when big six firms they are coming, so for 3 or 4 profiles they are coming and recruiting. So one of the prominent profile is they will absorb you in M&A, mergers and acquisition team. Now, see, right now you may be following news of Sony Entertainment and Z Telefilms. Some merger, some acquisition is going around. Now, these corporates, they are not well equipped, I will say. They do have the finance department, but they do not have expertise to carry out this whole merger acquisition from end to end on its own. So what they will do, they will appoint some consultant. Now, this is where these big six firms, they come into play. They will appoint one of the big six company. And if you are working as in part of their M&A team, so now you will be taking care of your client's requirement. It will start from basically as an MBA graduate. It will start mainly from this compliance. What are the documentation that you need to maintain? Then this whole smooth journey from acquisition, and then this whole this finance, you have to consolidate accounts of both the firms after acquisition. Now this whole journey is usually outsourced to one of the big six, and this is a typical thing of a M&A team. Another team from Big Six, which when they come and they recruit from an MBA institute, is for transfer pricing. Now, what is this transfer pricing? You have Department A, and Department A is providing its services to another department, Department B of the same organization. Now, maybe possible Department A is located in India and Department B is located in Hong Kong. Now, at what price you are going to Department A will transfer its price to Department B? What are the taxation issues? What are the accounting issues involved? Now, this is where firms, they will always appoint one of the big six consultant. And if you are working in transfer pricing, so then you will be advising your client on this. I can speak for long, like what are the different kind of career options available, and I'm sure even if you do some Google work, you will get enough of information. So I will prefer instead of simply telling you what are the career options are, or what kind of profiles are available. If I can simply now, I can see there are some questions in the chat box. Yeah, so I will move to questions. So I will request Akshay is with us from GIM. So very first question, if Akshay, you can take what are the cutoffs for the admission process?
Yes, boss. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So the first question itself is about the cutoff. The PGDM core program has a cutoff because that is not as much profile based, because we have an achievers round for the PGDM core program. But the other 3 programs that I'm talking about is one is BIFS, HCM and BDA. All 3 programs are profile based. So there's no cutoff as such for those 3 programs. PGDM core, just to give you an idea, Last year's cutoff is what we can tell you. Last year, our CAT cutoff for the PGDM core program was 87 percentile. The ZAT cutoff was 80 percentile. And CMAT was 99 percentile plus, 99 point something. Yep. So the other thing is this year, since we haven't given any notification about CMAT yet because we are waiting for NTA to make an announcement about the dates. Last year, the CMAT exam got delayed a lot, and that created our process also to get delayed and so on and so forth. So we are waiting for NTA to make any announcement. But if you just ask me, CAT and ZAT, 87 for CAT and 80 for ZAT, this will be a little different for the Achievers round, but now it's of no use because Achievers deadline is gone for GIM. So you won't be able to apply via Achievers for the core program. And also for other programs, the elite window is also closed. So that way, but the cutoff generally for Achievers round is 5 to 10 percentile lower as compared to the cutoffs which I just told you. That being said, all other programs, for example, BIFS program, which Professor Abhishek is the program chair for. Professor, if you might want to add a little bit as to how the profiles are looked at, but it is purely profile based. So there's no cutoff as such for these programs.
Yeah, so typically when I'm saying when we say BIFS, we are looking for it is profile based. I'm saying we prefer. I'm not saying it is a mandatory requirement. Kind of a eligibility requirement. Only a preference I'm talking about. So we prefer if a person is having a 1 or 2 years of work experience, and this work experience, if it can be from IT sector or if it can be from any of the BFSI sector. I will repeat, I'm saying it is only when we are going through a profile. So there are multiple things when what we will look. This is only one of the parameters. So don't unnecessarily press panic button ki nahi, I am a fresher, so this program is not suitable for you. It is only just to put one of the criteria ki we prefer. Second, what in profile we prefer is your good academic record. So when I'm saying good academic record, so yeah, you have a decent academic performance when it comes to your 10th class percentages, 12th, your graduation. Along with that, if you have done any professional certification or you have done any professional course, like if you are a chartered accountant or a cost accountant or a company secretary, or currently you are an active student of CFA, if you have cleared level 1 of CFA, or you are level 1 or level 2 candidate of FRM, or you have completed. So typically, so there are multiple things. It's not only that one parameter which will count for profile. We go through each and every application who apply both. I will say who are applying in the BFS as first preference or second preference, whatever preference you have stated, we will go through each and every application, and it is completely on a profile based. Yeah. So anything else, Akshay, that you want me to add as far as profiling is concerned?
I think, Professor, you covered most of the points.
Yeah, great. So now there is a question, sir. In fact, there is a statement, sir. I am from engineering background. So person Prajakta, she has.
Sir, I think there is next question. Similar question we have from engineering background. I think we'll take it later.
No, I can take it right now. So
because the another question came that
yeah,
I'm from engineering background. How useful is this course in finance?
Yeah. Sure.
So
I can take. I will take. So see, in fact, one question I will add from my side to this question, which most of the time candidates they ask. And typically they ask, and now this question, and my response is not particular for the BIFS program. Please understand, it is in general for finance, irrespective you do from which institute, yeah, which program. So in general, I'm going to take this particular question. See, if you are from an engineering background, so please come with an open mind, right? Please don't be afraid. Okay, I am from an engineering background. I will be able to do well in finance or not, right? Please understand, as an academician, when we are designing any program, right? we assume that for the first time in your life, you are undergoing that particular course. Now, when I teach accounting and finance, and when I have to teach course on financial reporting, which is basically I will say financial accounting. So see, in my classroom, I know there are people who are professionally qualified. They are company secretary, they are chartered accountants, they may be cost accountants. But the way we pitch, we assume that like entire batch is undergoing this course on accounting for the first time. So it is a kind of a zero base. Similarly, we have programs. In a GMBFS program, we have a course on programming. So we teach Python. Now, Python is basically programming language. And now we have computer engineer. We have many engineers in a program. 50%, I will say, BFS batch is from an engineering background. Now, then out of these engineers, if there are 30 engineers, out of these 30, maybe at least 10 to 12, they have work experience in companies, IT companies like Tech Mahindra, Infosys. So they have done enough of coding in 2 to 3 years of their post graduation, right? But now when we have to teach Python, still we will assume that for the first time you are undertaking a course on programming. So I will say, irrespective of your background, please don't worry ki I am from an engineering background, I will be able to cope up with the courses or not. So the program is designed in such a way that yes, irrespective of your background, ki you come from a science background, you come from arts background, you come from a commerce background, I'm 100% sure after completing 2 years of this MBA program, you will be expert in finance. Yeah, and please trust me, I'm not only here to talk about BIFS course of GIM. This I am talking about in general. Most of the B schools, if you say top B schools, when they are designing their courses, right? All of us as an academician, this is what we assume कि आप first time ये course कर रहे हैं, ताकि किसी को भी ये कहना ये डर नहीं रहे कि नहीं मुझे पहले से I have to prepare, I need to read something before starting my MBA journey. And this is where, see, formally term 1 starts somewhere around first week of July. But initial 15 days, we keep it for induction. Now, induction, it helps us a lot to bridge that particular gap. Yeah, so no need to worry, Prajakta. And I think there is one more person who has put a similar question.
Similar question from
Yeah,
Supreet.
Supreet. So, Prajakta and Supreet, please don't be worried ki we are from engineering background. And in fact, I will say at times, like the way things are changing in finance. So usually engineers, at least it is perceived that engineers, it is expected that engineers will be good with their mathematical skills. And in finance, it is all about numbers. So yeah, engineers usually, they do well in finance domain.
So the next question,
there
Rohit
is
would
next
like to say
question
that
from Rohit.
yes, he is inspired after listening your own educational biography. Similarly, sir, from my side also, even I am also inspired after going through your own institutional and educational biography and vast career experience and knowledge skills.
Yeah, thank you.
Please share any important tips for being successful in finance career.
Right. To be successful in finance career, one thing is required, and that is a concept clarity. Now, when I'm saying concept clarity, I'm really sorry if this session turns out to be kind of a lecture session, but I have to be very specific when I'm addressing this particular question.
So, sir, it is actually more interactive session. The way you are conducting the webinar, it is more interactive.
Okay, I'm really thankful to you. So I'm just, I have to be very specific when I'm saying you have to be clear with concept. So what I mean by concept. Now, see, as a finance, as I said, you will be, let's say you are working in a corporate, when I say corporate, other than BFSI, so you are working in a manufacturing concern. Now you have two capital budgeting proposal. Now what I mean by capital budgeting, you have to decide, you want to purchase one equipment. Now this equipment may cost you 10 CR. Now, should I go for this equipment purchase or not? I will say it falls under investing decision, which is basically a capital budgeting. Now, as a finance person, when I'm saying you have to be, you need a concept clarity. Now, I will say this capital budgeting, to evaluate capital budgeting projects, there are some techniques. For instance, internal rate of return you need to calculate. there is something called net present value that you need to calculate. For all these calculations, you need to estimate what will be my discounting factor. Now, please understand, when companies, they are coming and recruiting from any B school, and when they are going for summer internship interviews as well as final placement interview, this is what they will check. कि आपको ना concept clarity है या नहीं? Are you actually able to apply all the concepts which were discussed in classroom? You know what is NPV, what is this net present value whole concept, what is this internal rate of return. Now this is one area. When it comes to, let's say you are going into asset management company, you are working for some HNI, high net individual HNI clients. अब आपका काम क्या रहेगा? They will say कि boss, I have a total fund of 50 lakhs. And this money I am giving you, you are my wealth manager, and this is the amount of risk which I can take. They will say, ki, 50 lakhs, you take it, and I am okay, I am willing to take a risk of 5 lakhs. Ki, I will not mind even if you lose 5 lakhs, theek hai, but I eventually, if everything goes well, I am looking for a return of 25%, right? Now on one side today we have FD of 6%, 7%. ठीक है, वहां पर आपका HNI client आपको बोल रहा है कि ठीक है मैं रिस्क लेने के लिए तैयार हूं, but my expectation when it comes to return is 25%. Now here, as a finance person, you have to have that concept clarity, how to construct that portfolio. 50 lakh rupees you have, you need to know what is technical analysis, what is fundamental analysis, right? How to evaluate company. I should invest in Cadila, or I should invest in Infosys, or I should simply invest in some debenture, right? और currently अभी आप देखेंगे, आपने देखा होगा कि SGP was open, so straight away can I invest if it is for a longer term period, let's say some 7-8 years. So why not to invest in some commodity? Gold is one of the commodity. So now you need to have that clarity ki yes, how to evaluate company's financial position, right? So what are the options available? How to construct a portfolio? Is it good in a portfolio to have a security, one investment in a pharmaceutical sector? Can I invest at the same time in 2 pharmaceutical companies, or it should be a diversified, one pharmaceutical, another IT company, another FMCG company? So now this is what I mean is concept clarity. So in a I do not know. I'm sorry if I have taken a long to answer with your question, but your question, important tips for being successful in finance career. You have to have concept clarity. Basic concepts clear होने चाहिए. Don't unnecessarily chase jargons. ये आजकल कैसे होता है कि business reporters जो होते हैं, every day they will come up with a new jargon. Don't go for jargons. Clear your basic concepts. If you are able to read balance sheet, if you are able to read income statement, if you are able to read cash flow statement, you are able to analyze financial statements. This is more than sufficient. Yeah.
Great, sir. Great, sir. Very like perfect clarification. Yes, and I think it is clear to everyone. So one another question, like Suprit would like to know that whether any internship or practical training provided during this course.
See, just where is this question? Yeah, so please also another question, whether any internship or practical training provided during course. I will tell you again. So Pete, if I talk about particularly about our BIFS program, typically you will find that in any MBA program, once you complete your first year, you will go for summer internship of 8 to 12 weeks, right? Which is roughly around 2 months, right? See, before starting this BIFS program, we started in the year